Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got one for you today. A lady who is a philanthropist. She's a TV presenter, a former model. Since then, she's gone on to be mother to Belle. And she's about to have a baby anytime, well, within the next few seconds, really. It's a delight to talk to Katie Piper. How are you?
I am feeling very big. I'm 8 months pregnant, but I'm very excited about having my baby.
I've just seen a picture of you. If you don't mind me saying, A, you look delicious, but B, that's quite a bump, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, I am literally days away from my due date. So, yeah, I'm kind of ripe and ready to go, I think.
What we're talking about today is something that's fascinating. Your baby will be one of 58,000 born in December. There's some 47,000 midwives in the UK, and research says that they feel undervalued and overpressured. That's extraordinary. These are people who are angels.
That's right, yeah. So Pampers carried out the research, and they found, like you said, 1 in 3 of the nation's midwives feel underappreciated. So what Pampers decided to do is rally the nation to say thank you to those midwives, to celebrate the amazing job that they do and show our appreciation to every single one of them, because anyone that's had a baby or had a family member that's had a baby will know there's such a crucial role in the happy, healthy development of every single baby that's born. And not just in the delivery, it's about all the way through those antenatal appointments and back in the community when you're using your community midwife post the birth as well. So I think as a nation, we're very quick to complain. So, you know, if you go on the internet and look at forums, when people have bad experiences, they'll often write about them or complain and write letters. But seldom do we actually talk about when it went really well and somebody went above and beyond. So Pampers have made a hashtag for social media, and the hashtag is Thank You Midwife. And what we want people to do is talk about their positive experiences, talk about their midwife stories and share them with that hashtag. And to encourage us to do that, Pampers have kindly said they'll donate £1 to the Royal College of Midwives for every hashtag used. So this donation will be used to support the midwives throughout the festive season, but also beyond that.
How did this happen where we became so contemptuous of the people who are the difference between our existence and non-existence? I mean, these people are crucial to our lives, to our children's lives, and of course to the future generations. When did this happen and how did it happen?
Do you know what? I think for any woman that's had a baby, it's a very surreal time. And we live a busier life now more so than ever. And, you know, society is full of demands and pressures and anxieties. And I think it is, you know, myself, I remember having my first child and then going away and it all sinks in and you look back and think, oh, I should have written a card or I should have said this, or, you know, and that's the great thing about the campaign. It's not too late. You can go on there and you can share those stories using that hashtag. And I think sometimes maybe we just need that little reminder, because these people do an amazing job, but I think it goes beyond a job. It's a vocation. It's something they're passionate about.
How did having your first baby change your life? I guess it makes you realise that the things we worry about, whether it be the latest picture on Instagram or a new series on ITV, is totally, completely and utterly irrelevant, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. It does put things into perspective for you and your priorities change. I think the biggest change to my life was I'm just constantly shattered and never get to sleep. So, and now I'm about to do it all over again and not sleep for another 18 years. So,
how did that happen? We need you fit and well and we need you back on the telly. We haven't got time for you having babies. This is very distracting.
It's a welcome change to your life, though, isn't it? It's nothing can prepare you for parenthood, but actually that's why the midwife is such a crucial role, because they do support you throughout that pregnancy and beyond. But yeah, it's a welcomed, amazing change.
You seem to have the perfect life now. I mean, you've got the husband and then you'll have the 2 kids. That's the archetypal perfect family. Is that it for you, or do you intend to have 13 children like Katie Price?
Well, I wasn't even sure if I was going to have children. So to have one was amazing. And then again, having this second, we weren't entirely sure if we would have 2. So this has been an absolute blessing. And I think, you know, I'll let you know when I get out the other side with this one, what my plans are. But at the moment, I think I'm sticking with where I'm at.
When's your due date, or do we not talk about that? Is that all top secret?
It's literally a few days away. I'm due next week.
What the hell are you doing wasting your time talking to me? You should be lying on a bed somewhere relaxing.
Well, you're just as well I'm not in the studio with you as it could be you delivering it. You could turn your hand at being a midwife.
Do you know, I've never been very good in messy circumstances. I can't remember who's told me once, but they said it's something like pushing a rhinoceros through a polo mint. I don't know what that means, but I'll leave it with you.
Well, Thanks for that. Cheers.
Well, no, I like to draw diagrams with words. Do you know what I'm saying, Katie?
See, this is why we need the midwives. The midwives will probably give some more reassuring advice. Yeah.
You're saying that this won't be my vocation? You don't think this is a good one?
I don't think so, no. You won't be donating £1 for your story.
I came across you a few years ago and I look at your life since, and it's extraordinary how the public have fallen in love with you. You can't buy that. You can't create that. The public have such great affection for you. That must be fantastic. I noticed that you're about to start a tour next year, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the warmth towards you really is lovely, isn't it?
Do you know what? It is so lovely, and the public have been so supportive, not just of me, but actually my charity, the Katie Piper Foundation. We rely on public donations, not just of money, but of services, support. And we've had some brilliant volunteers and fundraisers that have gone on to help the thousands of other people like me affected by burns and scars. And I think of all the negative stuff in the news that's happening around the world, it does really restore your faith in society, that kind of support.
And of course, the way we got to know you was through modelling, and you are delicious, let's face it. I'm a deeply unattractive man. Just give me an insight into how it feels to be adored and people asked to take your photo. I mean, have you seen Shrek? I just want to paint a picture just so you know who you're talking to.
I'm not adored at home. My husband would disagree. He finds me very annoying at the moment and says I'm very hormonal. So
You're not being unreasonable, are you, and asking for Marmite sandwiches at 3:30 in the morning?
Well, not yet. But like you said, I'm actually returning to work quite soon after the birth. I'm going on tour. So I'm kind of using this time at the moment to sort of relax and get everything I want and make him wait on me hand and foot, because come March, I'm going to be touring up and down the country with my new show, Katie Piper, What's in My Head. And that's actually the first time I've ever done a theatre tour. So it's going to be new territory for me.
I'd love to come and see this. I'm fascinated by psychology. If I didn't do this job, and I guess it's a branch of it in a way, sat here asking you questions is a bit like being on a couch. But what is in your head is fascinating. And I don't think there's ever been a year where we've talked more about mental well-being and mental health. What's in our head is the most fascinating thing in our life, because we can't control it, can we?
No, and you're right. In a positive way, we're talking about it more than ever, which stops it being a taboo subject. And the more we share stories and experiences, the more people can get the help and the treatment that they need. So I hope that when people come to my theatre show, it won't just be about hearing my experiences and my coping mechanisms. It'll be about taking something away and applying it to their life and helping themselves. So hopefully it'll be a positive experience for everyone that buys a ticket.
What will we get? Obviously, there's two halves. In the first half, we'll get what? In the second half, we'll get what?
I wear lycra, I dance, I tell a few jokes.
Very nice. Well, I'm definitely coming.
Well, it is a look at mental health, anxiety, depression, and what worked for me, and an honest approach about what didn't work for me, actually. And I think it is important when talking about mental health that there is that dose of humour in there as well, and being able to laugh at ourselves. So, yeah, I really hope that it's going to be, self-help for the people that come along.
I've spoke to many people over the years who have struggled with depression. I've never had that thing where I can't get out of bed, so I suppose I'm not in the best place to talk about it. But it does seem to me that when you're at your lowest, having a vision of yourself from the outside looking in is almost impossible. And that's what we need, isn't it? Perspective to keep our mental health well, so we can catch ourselves when we're going down cul-de-sacs.
Yeah, I mean, a large part of my theatre show is about perspective, reframing our thoughts and stepping out of those thoughts and being able to almost see it as an outsider looking in, and realising actually the mind is one of the most powerful muscles we possess. And if we exercise it, it can get us out of some incredibly dark situations.
And at 34 years old, I mean, to have this insight is magnificent. I guess from this, there'll be books and there'll be TV appearances. Would you like to go that way, sort of on TV and become sort of an agony aunt, if you like?
Oh gosh, well, I don't know if I'd want the whole world's problems on my shoulders. Certainly through my charity, I mentor other survivors, and I do find that rewarding and inspiring actually as well, their own journeys and their strength and how they face adversity and overcome it. And I've written quite a lot of self-help books. My most recent one, Confidence the Secret, was I wrote with a psychologist, and I actually found the whole process quite fascinating. Like you, it's something I'm really interested in personally.
After the acid attack, I mean, people came to you, and it's another story, just coincidentally, that has never been more in the news. I wonder whether, is that draining or is that inspiring to you when other people come to you who have the same thing that you're going through?
Well, in the theatre tour, I talk about the power of saying no and self-care. And actually, it's that analogy in the aeroplane. You can't help anyone else till you put your oxygen mask on. So you've got to know when to say no, because otherwise you're kind of destroying your own mental recovery. And it's sometimes not about the quantity of saying yes to everybody and helping everybody. It's the quality and knowing when to delegate and knowing how to set up strategies and put things in place that can be robust and have longevity.
Let's talk about Christmas. That's the big thing coming up next. Obviously, it's going to be a busy time for you. Are you prepared, Katie? This is what I want to know. Is the tree up already? Because this should be sorted in November, really. Come on.
Of course, it's all prepared because I'm nesting. That's what happens when you're pregnant. You go in empty cupboards, you clear out drawers and you get ready. So I'm very much organised. And I think it's because I'm pregnant. I've never been this organised usually.
I was clearing out my drawers this morning. Maybe I'm pregnant too. I should pop and see a doctor. What's Christmas Day like in your house? I mean, will you be doing the full dinner or are you going to parents' house? What's happening this year?
So we normally have about sort of 20 plus people and me and my husband do all the cooking. But this year we're going to go a bit more low key just because we would have just had the baby. So I think it's usually just lots of food, a little bit of alcohol and lots of board games and just coming together really.
I know the PR line is that your first child is exceedingly excited about the second child. That's your daughter, Belle. Is it true? Because, I mean, there's got to be a bit of sort of jealousy there, isn't there? You've got to balance that because what you don't want her is becoming resentful that this new thing's turned up in the house that's got mummy's attention.
Yeah, well, at the moment, she's excited. She's got friends with siblings, so she's looking forward to having a friend to play with. But she does keep making funny comments like, I can't wait to meet the brother or the sister, but I don't think they should come home and live with us. Trying to break it to her that they might come home and live with us for about 18 years, possibly. So, she's not 4 yet. So she thinks she understands, but I don't think she fully understands, really.
How amazing, though, for Christmas to be, getting the Christmas tree, a full cooked dinner and a new baby. That must be the best Christmas ever for Belle. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, it is. And for us as well. We feel very blessed, yeah.
Do you look at your life now, I mean, for all the trials and tribulations, for all the negativity, for all the things you've had to overcome, to sit here in 2017 on the 5th of December and know that you've got a second baby on the way, you've got a loving husband at home and a beautiful baby daughter, Belle. This is the dream, really, isn't it?
It's funny when we talk about dreams. I mean, in my tour, I talk about, creating our life and living the best life that we have, not trying to live lives that other people have. And actually, if we aim to be the best version of us that we can possibly be, we'll always reach happiness and success. But if we always aim to be somebody else, all these pictures on Facebook, look like somebody else, have somebody else's car, career, we set ourselves up for disappointment. So that's what I think life is about, setting those goals and concentrating on ourselves and not what we don't have and what others have.
What is your take on social media? I think it is one of the most concerning, destructive things we have around us at the moment. I spoke to a friend the other day. I haven't spoken to them in months. And I said, you look so happy. You've been all around the world, you two. Oh, my God, all these huggy, kissy pictures, half-naked pictures, pictures at midnight, pictures at 6 in the morning. And they split up 3.5 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
And they're still putting pictures up because they don't want to sort of break the facade. There's a lot of play acting going on with this stuff. I mean, not only can you polish your own pictures to make ugly people look attractive, you can also polish your life to make it look attractive.
Yeah, I think you're right. There can be an element that's a facade where you're showing the best bits, you're showing the edited bits, you're showing the show reel you want people to see, and that can be negative. So maybe us as users, we need to keep it into perspective and remember what we are actually seeing. But there are positive sides to social media. I mean, look at the campaign today, the Thank You Midwife campaign. Without social media, we couldn't get this message out here. Well, if we didn't get the message out there, we couldn't raise the money and donate the money to the Royal College of Midwives. So there's a real positive example of social media.
I think you're an incredible woman with a wonderful career ahead of you, and I look forward to seeing this tour. You can find out more by going to your website. Give your personal website first, so we'll do that.
Yes, it's katiepiper.new.co.uk, and you can buy tickets there for my theatre tour, Katie Piper, What's in My Head.
The fact these midwives are overpressured and overworked is disgraceful. This is our future. These are the people we need to care about the most. And if nothing else, let's hope this campaign draws a bit of attention to it. What do you reckon?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for supporting it. It was so lovely to talk to you.
Katie Piper, thank you so much for your time. See you on tour in 2018, and I hope to talk to you again very soon. Lots of love.